Hi, my name is Don Hicks and I would like to welcome you to my Playing by the Chords DVD. The purpose of this DVD is to get you started playing by chords. To keep things simple, this DVD is only going to deal with one key, the key of D, because I feel it's the easiest to improvise in because you have the roots of the 1, the 4, and the 5 chords as open strings. A 1-4-5 pattern is one of the most common patterns you'll find in popular music, and I want to explain what I mean by 1, 4, and 5. If you're in the key of D, you simply count the notes in a major scale. You have your open D would be 1, E 2, F sharp 3, G 4, so a G chord would be your 4 chord, and then A would be 5. That would be your 5 chord. There are, of course, many more chords in the world and lots of keys, and things can get a lot more difficult, but for this DVD we're going to just stay with 1, 4, and 5 in the key of D. A major chord is based on 3 tones, the root, the third, and the fifth. So in the key of D you have a D is your root, or 1. The F sharp would be your third, and the A would be your fifth. But there are many more ways, many different combinations that you can use to get these sounds on your violin. You may notice that I have tapes on my violin. I put these on so that it would match my diagram, and it may match your violin that you're using. If you're a Suzuki student, you're probably very familiar with these tapes. I've listed for you all the different possible ways you can make a D chord on your violin on this screen here. You can see that all the notes are A's, F sharps, and D's, which are the notes in a D chord. D, F sharp, A. Root, third, fifth. On your G string you can play an A down here with your 1 finger and an open D. That's one way of voicing a D chord. The next way I have listed is your 1 finger on the G and your 2 finger on the D string, A and F sharp. And this one is, I guess, the hardest of the bunch here. This is an F sharp, and then you're going to get this D with your 4th finger. Some of you may not be accustomed to using your 4th finger yet. You have to play with it a little bit to get it in tune. And then F sharp and A. And of course the easiest way to get a D chord is your open D and your open A string. Open D, open A. Here we have your 3 finger on the A string. That makes a D, and your 2 finger on the D. And then the next chord is a D and F sharp. And then the 3 finger going directly across both strings is the last of the first position D major chord voicings. We're now going to go through with accompaniment, playing just a D major rhythm. The bass will be playing pretty much just a D and an A, a root and a 5. The guitar will be playing a D major chord. You won't hear any notes in here other than D's, F sharps, and A's in all the instruments. And I'm going to go along and I'm going to play these chords for you. I'm going to voice them from the bottom, then I'll play the top note, then I'll play them together. And then I'll stop and I'll go to the next one, bottom note, top note, together. Bottom note, top note, together. And I'll call out each measure as we go, first, second, third, and fourth. First measure, A and D. Second measure, A and F sharp. A, F sharp, together. measure, this is the hard one, D on your G4, and F sharp. Fourth measure, F sharp and A. Next line, the easy one, D, open A. Next measure, F sharp and a D. Next measure, D and F sharp. And the last measure. Okay, let's try it again a little faster from the top. 1, 2, 3, play. Okay, now we're going to try it with a basic country shuffle kind of bowing. If you're a Suzuki student, this would be Twinkle Variation C, but a little bit slower. Okay, I'm going to go through the measures again, the same as we did before. 1, 2, ready, play. make it a little bit more interesting. I'm not going to go in this pattern anymore with the scale. I'm just going to kind of make something up using these chord voicings, sometimes a single note, sometimes one of the chords. And I want you to play along. You can either try to follow me exactly, or you can try to work with other voicings that will work with what I'm playing, and make up your own. Hopefully that's the goal, is that you make your own rhythms and your own voicings and your own ways of doing it. So let's give it a try, a little freestyle now. You may notice when I'm playing now that I'll hit some notes that aren't A's, F sharps, or D's. These would be what we would call passing tones, just kind of walking into the chord. If we had an A and a E, well, you know, the D1, and held that down and just added the two finger, that would be a way of walking into the chord, or you could walk down to the, like that. You may notice me do quite a bit of that, and I strongly encourage you to try that yourself. Alright. Start off simple, and we'll get a little more complicated as it goes on.